Second game of the Vijana tournament, and I was paired against a friend. And for this round, I was paired against the only streamer from Italy, except me, of course. And let's see what's happened. He was not so irritated, but he played a super good game. In this position, he played d4, I played knight f6, and he continued with c4. I played 6 and he played g3. There is a normal opening, a normal move, because the idea is play bishop on g2, knight f3 and castle, but I was not so well prepared against that opening. So I played a move that I consider it like a normal move, d5, and he pushed the bishop on g2, of course. Bishop on e7, my idea was castle 2, he played knight f3. I don't know why he didn't castle, to be honest. I just played the knight on d7, because I consider it also to play c5. He decided to take on d5, I took back on d5. I don't know why they decided to simplify the position on this way, because a normal move could be for him castle, but that's fine anyway. He castle, I castle, and he played knight c3. Here I played c6 because it was super easy. He cannot move the knight anywhere. As you can see, he have no good moves. He can do something like this, but it was a long plan, so I felt good in this position. He played 95, and here, guys, I missed the chance to get a good advantage because I could take this knight, pawn take, and knight on g4, attacking this one. He can defend with the bishop, but in this position I can play g5, he need to go back and I can take the pawn easily. Or if he not play the bishop on f4 and defend the pawn with f4, I can just play the bishop on c5, and here the position is super well, because if he defend with this one, I can take. If he takes, double attack the rook and the queen, so easy for me. But if he play king h1, I can go on f2, and he need to sack the rook, and super well position for me. So I didn't found that move, I just played the bishop on d6, and here what's happened. He decided to play the bishop on f4, seems a normal move, defend the knight. This knight now is super strong, and I needed to find a way for removing this knight. I considered to play in this position also the knight on h5, but at the end I prefer to play the bishop on b8, go back with my bishop. So what's happened? He played e4, I decided to take, he take with the knight. I didn't want to simplify too much the position because, okay, I could do something like this, but as you can see now this bishop is super strong because he's attacking the h7 pawn, and I didn't want to arrive in that position. So my move in this position was knight e5, attack the bishop on f4. He decided to take, I took back on d7 with the bishop, and he play bishop on d2. I played bishop f5 because I want to remove these attackers, and fortunately he played rook e1. After bishop d6 he played a3, and I play rook c8 because I want to push this c pawn. Queen b3, easy, not a problem if you want to attack this pawn, because I just play b6 and everything is fine, life is beautiful. He played rook c1, bishop e6 was my move, because my plan was going to attack this queen some way, but let's see what's happened. He played the queen on a4, give me the chance to push the queen on c7, b4 for him, and I just play b5. He go back on d1 with the queen, everything is fine. I have a super well development, not so strategic plans or crazy plans, crazy sacrifice, but everything was fine for me anyway. I played a5 because I want to simplify this position. He played the knight on c5 because here, as you can see, Stockfish says there is not a natural move, not a good move in this way, but for me, this knight during the game was super strong. I decided to take on b4, he take back, and I said, okay, now I need to take the control of the 5. Not immediately, because I prefer to simplify the position, and I play the rook on d8, attack the queen, because queen was in the same file. And what's happened? He removed the queen for that file. He played the queen on c2, and I play finally the rook on e8. in this position, I thought that he can play something like rook a1 because he didn't need it to me to take the control of the file, because I can play something like rook a4 and doubling on the file. But what's happened? He played the rook on b1, and I said, this move is a little bit strange because he's defending this pawn, okay, but the pawn is defended by the bishop too. So it's probably a more passive move. I played the rook on a4, tried to double the rooks as I told you, and also attack the pawn, and he played the rook on b2. I played the queen on a7 because I didn't want just to push the rook on e8, I want to put 3 pieces on the file. Bishop on e4, try to take this pawn for free, and I was ready, and I played g6. Here he played h4, he probably want to crash my pawn structure, playing something like h5, and I went to a1 with my rook. Rook take, rook b1, and queen d4. Now my queen is into the game, super strong, is ready to do something crazy. I didn't have a plan, to be honest, but the position of the queen is fine. He played h5 as I told you, and I played knight on f6. Bishop g5, pinning my knight, and here I played a bad move because I had no time, I had just like 1 minute in this position, and I just play a bad mistake. I take the knight with the queen. He simplified the position and he took my rook. Easy for him, and I said, okay, now I need to manage a lot for try to draw this game. I took the pawn. Okay, I have double pawns, but I didn't want to allow him to take that pawn, and he played the rook on e1. And here I played the second big mistake of the game, and I lost this game after my move because I said I can go on g5 because my idea was jumping on f3, but he can just take the knight for free. Super big mistake for me, super big mistake. Here position was completely lost. I decided to play other few moves to continue the game to see what's happened, but he played super well the endgame. I moved my king. I tried to find a way to block and simplify the position. All my pawns was on the light squares, as you can see, and his bishop was on the dark squares, but was not a problem because in a moment I finished my moves and I needed to do something. As you can see in this position, if I go here, he can take, I just take the bishop back, and after this move I resign because he can take my pawns, he can promote the pawn, he could do everything he wanted to do. So I lost the game. I didn't play so badly in the first part of the game. I missed a chance in the opening, but okay, was fine. The problem was he was low rated than me, and I lost a lot of filo points, but let's see what's happened in the next game of the tournament.